Shalom, shalom. This is part 2. Belief is the key to overcoming this world, and faith prepares us for the works to come. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing in His word, Lord willing as a whole that they continue in sound doctrine, walking in the same spirit. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of His faith and His truth. Lord willing you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. So let's get into the lesson. Belief is the foundation of this truth. What we see constantly in the scriptures, that it shows that nothing in the ministry of Yahweh Shem Shai is moved without faith. Belief is the engine of obedience, endurance, and spiritual power. This is St. John, the 6th chapter. We're going to start at verse 26, but 29 is the point. It says, Yahweh Shai answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him have the Most High the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, What shall we do, that we might work the works of the Most High? Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, This is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him whom he have sent. Right? We have to believe on Yahweh Shai, especially us that didn't see him. Now, yes, in your past life, but talking about right now, you didn't see Yahweh Shai walking. You didn't see miracles. But how are we able to grow in this thing? Let me get this precept. And we always bring this out in multiple lessons. Romans chapter 10 and verse 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But how can you hear it? Of course, we can, read the scriptures yourself. But who is going to give you the understanding of what the scriptures mean, what they go into, what does it stem from? It's really by hearing it by His prophets. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. And who was this? That would be the prophets that Yahweh Shem Shai sent, which when we read throughout all these scriptures, we understand that Yahweh Shem Shai have given us the chance to understand what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future, why things exist, why nations are this way, adversary, sin, wickedness, which is in the scriptures. That's why we see in Revelations 1 and 3, blessed is he that readeth and that heareth the prophecies and do them, right? Because even though we read, who's to say we truly understand? When we go up to the 14th verse, it says, How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how should they hear without a preacher? Now, in order for us to be a believer, we have to be a student. Somebody has to teach us these things and how to break down the Bible, how to get understanding here and here in different points. Let's go to Hebrews, the 11th chapter, in verse 6. It says, But without faith it's impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You have to have a daily routine of seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushai to understand why things are the way that they are. Let's get Habakkuk or Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, in verse 4. It says, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Why are we living by faith? Right? Because it goes with this third verse. For the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. The things that was said in the scriptures, when you start to get this understanding that pertains to the scriptures, is things that haven't been fulfilled, because everything that is written has an appointed time for it to be fulfilled, right? So for us thinking of when Yahweh Shai coming back, when brothers is hearing or doing lessons on the men of the Lord shall have spiritual powers on their side, eventually that is going to come to pass, because you see in the scriptures when it actually happened for the men of the Lord in the time of Yahweh Shai. Let's go back to the book of Romans. Romans 1:17. It says, for therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith, the righteous, right? So if you calling yourself really in this truth, do you really believe? I never seen the Leviathan, but I read about him in the scriptures and I believe he's real. Believe in the things that you don't see, right? Because even Yahweh Shai told Thomas, what about those that believe that haven't seen? This whole movement, this walk is a trial of your faith, okay? So faith is not optional. It is a requirement for spiritual stability, prayer, discernment, and salvation. In order for you to pray to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, you have to have faith. Because if we're not praying to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai for things that we need, literally Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai is watching his creation. He's watching us. So if your faith is not strong, you're not going to find yourself praying to the Lord. You're not going to find yourself seeking Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. So faith is the only power that overcomes this world. Yahweh Shai taught directly that belief is the only force stronger than the world's corruption. Let's go to 1 John, the 5th chapter, verse 4 and 5. For whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. Your faith is going to have you overcome this world, right? Your faith will have you be in a predicament where you're willing to lay your life down for Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Nothing can move you because the faith you have in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. One key example before I read verse 5. When Yahweh Shai was in the face of Pilate, and Pilate said, I could put you to death. He said, you can't do nothing unto me unless it's sanctioned from above. Pure example of faith, And Yahweh Shai knew he came down here for a mission to obey Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's will. When we start to get into this knowledge, you want to find yourself moving more worthy in the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. But your faith is going to have you move the distance. Verse 5, who is he that overcometh the world, but he that believeth that Yahweh Shai is the Son of the Most High? These are the ones that are actually going to overcome the world, because they truly believe in Yahweh Shai. And I mean truly, from the name, from his position, his role, right? Everything that revolves around Yahweh Shai, especially when we look at Adam, Isaac, Solomon, and even Yahweh Shai himself, and what Yahweh Shai is doing in the spirit world through his Rakak Wadash on earth. Let's get St. John, the 16th chapter, in verse 33. I'll start at verse 31. It says, Yahweh Shai answered them, do ye now believe? Behold, the hour cometh, yea, is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulations, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Right? If Yahweh Shai can do it, we can do it. The Heavenly Father, what did he tell Samuel? What he told Saul. The Lord cares more about obedience than sacrifice. Right? And if we really have faith in the Lord, it's the same example of when brothers is speaking about you have to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh, he is. He exists. There's nothing we can do to hide from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. There's nothing on this side that is more greater than the love that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have given us. Right? This is Ephesians, the 6th chapter, verse 16. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. So with your faith, you'll be able to shield or withstand the traps, right? Or avoid the traps, the snares of the wicked. And again, like I said, this is all a test of your faith. That's why we see in 2 Corinthians 13:5, Paul said, examine yourself, or examine your faith. Test yourself, right? Because without belief, fear will dominate. Without faith, the world will consume a person. With faith, the world loses its power. That's why the Lord said he didn't give you a spirit of fear. Yes, we're human. We have that instinct of fear, but he didn't put you on this side to fear man over him, right? Let me actually get that because I'm thinking about it now. Not St. John, Matthew 28:10. Then Yahweh Shai said unto them, be not afraid. Wait, Salaki, not 28, 10 and 28. Salaki family. This is Matthew 10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body, right? So we're supposed to be fearing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh Shai has the power to put you in hell and death. He's the one that can put you in a condition, So this is why we need to have stronger faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Faith activates spiritual endurance in your tribulations. The trials ahead requires believers to trust Yahweh fully, basically be fully persuaded in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Isaiah 33:6. In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. In strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Right? This is your stability. This is what holds you up. This is what moves you. And right now at this time, especially MOTB come, famine of word, Jacob's trouble, all these things that we learned, meditate on, and you apply within your life is going to be beneficial when things get harder, right? Faith stabilizes our mind under pressure. Then Yahweh Shai say, don't worry on what to say when you're brought to the magistrate. Don't worry about it, because the Lord is going to provide the words on what to say, right? So let me go to the other Bible app and get 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, and read 7 and 8. It says, and every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall he preserve from the sad perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Who did he sanctify? Who did he cleanse? Who did he purify? Those that did the work and had faith. And the work is not only the law, it's the work of this ministry. especially the men being the example, those that fit the shoe of an apostle, a prophet, an evangelist. They're doing the work of a minister, right? Let alone they're being servants of servants, paving the way for the elect to know Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Each lesson, I'm not just only here to do lessons. I'm here to watch lessons too, build up my faith. I'm here to read, right? When the Spirit is on, hey, you know what? Let me read a chapter. You know what? Let me read 2 chapters. Hey, let me go over here, right? You know what? The Spirit draws you to do a lesson. The Spirit draws you to go watch a lesson, right? To sharpen up, right? Your spirit within you might be having you meditate or think on things, right? Let's go back to the other app. Let's get Revelations 14:12. And I'm going to read this one in the NLT. Revelations 14:12 in the NLT. It says, this means that the Most High holy people must endure persecution patiently, obeying his commands and maintaining their faith in Yahushai. So you're obeying the law, statutes, and commandments, and you're maintaining your faith in Yahushai. Maintaining your faith in Yahushai. When you getting afflicted, you gotta know the Lord is with you. Especially if you look on the channel, I did a lesson on the thorn is your weakness. And the Lord is dealing with you even more in your weakness. For us to be given praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. You know, it's not for us to be boasting, but we boast in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. We boast that Yahushai laid his life down for us. We boast that Yahushai was the only one to open up the seals when we flip over to Revelations, the 5th chapter. This is why we're able to have faith now. Before, I was ignorant in unbelief. I didn't know none of this. I was moving like a piece of shit, man. I was moving like an unlearned child. So overcoming the world is not through human strength, but divine trust. Divine trust. Just because I said that, we got to get the classic Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter in verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. You see that? You trust in the Lord, he's going to give you the understanding of that truth, which is that oil. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have cared for his elect. Grace and mercy is towards the saints, which is really the elect. Let's go to Romans 11 real quick. Starting at verse 5, it says, even so then, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. The word election is eklegē in the Greek, and it means divine selection. So the divine selection of grace, those are the remnant. And if by grace, then it is no more of works. It's not of works because they've been divine selected. They were predestined. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. And grace is fully established through Yahushai. And this is that grace period now, right? What then? Yasharella have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. And you're really seeking for Yahushai in the scriptures. Everything leads us to Yahushai. St. John 6:44. It says, no man, should I start up a little? Let's start at verse 41. It says, the Jews then murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. Symbolic, literally symbolic to when Israel was in the wilderness and the Lord had manna fallen from the heavens. And they said, Is not this Yahushai, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven? Yahushai therefore answered and said unto them, Murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. You got to truly have faith when brothers tell you you have been drawn to this truth. How? The Father is drawing you through the Rakak Wadash, man's going of the Lord, drawing you to search and seek these things out. Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart deviseth his ways, but Yahweh directs his steps. The Lord directed you, drew you to Yahushai. And Yahushai is the one that is raising us up in this ministry. Proverbs 16:1. The preparations of the heart in men, the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. So your mind preparation in the Greek goes back to the act of preparing. The Lord been preparing our minds to come in this truth. And when you go back to 2nd Esdras, let me go back to 2nd Esdras just so it can line in line with each other. 2nd Esdras 7. Okay, starting at verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one man go there at once. Right? So this path that Yahweh Shema Shai is leading you to, he's preparing you at the point of time he's ready for you to come. And the Lord sends us one at a time, and it's in his timing. Okay? Proverbs 20:4. Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Now you come in this truth. You understand it all been Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. There's no free will. The Lord knows your heart. So it's either your heart is fed or cleaving to bullshit. You're going to be cleaving or attached to bullshit. If you have your heart is in murder, heart is in deceit, right? You're going to be a monstrous child, a monstrous man in this world. Psalms 37:23. The steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh, and he delighteth in his way. Hey, yo, brother, whatever the Lord brings into your life is because in the eyes of the Lord, you are a good man or a righteous man or a man of faith, and he's ordering your steps. He's ordering your steps, right? Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning, from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do my pleasure, right? Lord willing, you are part of the Lord's pleasure on the right-hand side, because even when the Lord put that spirit on Esau to implement the MOTB, that's the Lord's pleasure, because it's fulfilling what was said. This was all in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So we want to be part of the Lord's pleasure of being the elect, seeing the downfall of our enemies. Jeremiah 10:23, O Yahweh, I know the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps, because who direct our steps? Proverbs 16:9, a man's heart deviseth his way, but Yahweh direct his steps. It's the Lord, it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai directing us and moving us. So to overcome the world is not through human strength. It is by divine trust. We have to trust in our divine power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Everything is in his hand, right? So Lord willing, this second part was edifying. Lord willing, you can understand that belief is key. Faith is key, preparing us for the works to come in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, by Shemar Kakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit and in sound doctrine, Lord willing, that they continue to endure and be sincere, and shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of this faith and this truth. With that, shalom, shalom, abba.